Hey guys, welcome to another Satisfactory video, and now this should be video 2, and we left off of just finishing tier 1 stuff. Now we're moving on to tier 2, and what we're going to start with is part assembly here. This will give us the assembler, copper sheet, rotor, module frame, and small plating. This will be required for later on in the game, I know that much. So all we want to do, as you can see, it requires a lot of metal things. Iron rods, screws, and iron plates, and cables. Now the copper should be completely fine, but the iron I don't think we have enough for. But first off, what I want to do is automate some of this stuff because I'm lazy and I just want it to be done for me, and that's also the point of this game. So what we want to do is go into, it should be this constructor. We want to make a constructor. We want to rotate it around there and then connect it with it. We don't connect it yet actually. We want to check inside. We want it to be making iron plates, iron rods, and screws. You know what I can do? I can make it split onto two, and then it goes onto two constructors. Alright, yeah, let's do that. So what we want to do is place one constructor right there, and then another one right there. And what we will need is an organization? Nope. Logistics? Yeah, conveyor splitter, where it shall go straight on. And we are definitely going to need some iron plates, so let me just take some out of there and craft some real quick. And there we go. 20 should be enough for just making some conveyor belts. Why can we not? Oh, because it needs to go in from the side. Alright, delete you. Get the conveyor splitter again. Rotate it to the correct way. And so if I put... No, you need to be moved back as well. And I assume you will too. If we go into production, constructor, rotate it. And there's one. And there's two. We connect that onto the splitter onto that one, and onto that one too. And now it's going to take the iron and shove them into both of them. What we want to do is make that one iron plates and make this one iron rods. And that now is automated. We would make it go into another storage so it's done, but we really don't need that, I don't think. And we also need more power. So what we want to do is get some of the leaves from here and turn these all into biomass. Now we have 400 biomass. We want to go into the back of our base. There is 2 biomass burners here, which I mentioned last episode but forgot about. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, we do need to connect them onto a power line. So what we want to do, that has 3 out of 4. So what we're going to do is make a power pole. Okay, we can't. Alright, I need materials for a power pole. And now I have the materials for a power pole. What we're going to do is shove that right there. Get the cables, connect it into this one, and this power line connecting into that one. So now these are all connected, and we want to get another power pole. Oh my god. And we want to place this one right there. Connect. Oh, we can't. Alright, so we want to disconnect this one. How do we do that? Disconnect that power line. We go on here and configure it and take one out. No, we cannot. How do we take this off? Okay, so we are just going to do this the hard way. We're going to take you off, and that should give us all the resources we wasted on it. Place another biomass burner right there and connect that to that power line and insert the fuel that was left in there. And now we have 3 of them on and a spare power line which you plug into there, and that one into that one, and that one into that one. So now this is completely automated unless we run out of power, which we probably won't for a very long time at least. But now this is all being automated. What we want to do is go into organization, storage container. We need to get the resources for it. Okay, now we have the resources for a storage container. We want to put that around right there, and we want to go into logistics and get a merger, which we need 2 more iron rods for. Okay, now we want to get the merger back. It shall... Oh, it needs to come from both of the sides. Oh no, there's 3 of them and it comes out of there. Right, that makes sense. We want to take you off for now. Connect you into there. Connect you into there. And get a storage container, which we need 1 more iron plate for. Now, we place a storage container, which we need... Why can't we place it in there? As I said, plug that in. Can we not plug that in? We need iron rods. We can easily get those. And as I said for the 20th time, will that go in there? No, it won't. Okay, so we want to take that off. Did that go back in? That should have gone back in. I don't know where that went. We want to get the storage container again, place it again this time. Actually put the input in, there you go. And shove the conveyor belt going into it. Now this is currently our iron, but that's completely fine. We just want to make our lives easier. How much has it made? 35 and 20. So that should be our iron plates and iron rods done. We're going to leave it generating for a very long time until that fills up, because then we'll pretty much have infinite iron rods and iron plates. So whenever we need them, it should be no struggle. The screws, we can just take the iron rods from in there there and turn them into screws. That's super fast, so manufacturing it automatically is not a big concern. But cables cost wires. Cable cost wires. So what we're going to do is go into our copper mine, which is easily accessible because I luckily did it right there. And we want to take some of the copper from in here into our inventory. And we are going to manually turn this into cables. Now this will be a long process because it can be kind of slow to turn it into cables, but that's completely fine. I'll let you guys know when I'm done. Alright guys, and I have come back with all the materials needed to do this. If we just shove them all in there and set this to launch, this should take about 6 minutes. It's going to go into space, then it's going to come back. This will give us the all parts required to start getting started in our space elevator, which I should probably start placing as well. Let's see, what does the space elevator cost? It costs a lot of stuff. Alright, I'm gonna get started on a space elevator and see you guys when I'm done. Take some of the copper, take some of this. Oh, and here it comes on its merry way back. It's 15 seconds and it's going to give us what we asked for, which is the part assembly. This will do a space elevator. Now I'm only halfway to getting this done. By this I mean the space elevator. I'm only halfway into getting this done, if that wasn't clear. But I should be done and I'll let you guys know. Alright, a little update on progress. I am almost there. I only need some more iron rods, which are currently being automated, but it's not making it fast enough. So I'm going to help this machine a little. I'm going to take some of these iron and make some iron rods myself. Alright, now I have gathered all the materials needed for this space elevator. We just need to find a place big enough to place it. Most likely somewhere back here. Yeah, this is a massive. Jesus. Now I think I can move it later on, so it's not too big of a deal where I place it. I just want to place it somewhere around here. Sure, it's in the way of some other things, but that really doesn't matter. If you guys don't know what this is a space elevator. And this massive thing will allow us to advance even further and research even more items, because as easy as it would be to just research everything in every different tier, you need to unlock all the tiers with this space elevator, and that's why it exists. So now it should... oh, okay, it comes from the sky. It doesn't even launch up. The elevator comes from the sky, and whenever we want to research something, we have to come here. This is honestly super nice looking. And it's clicking everything into place, and that is it. So now if we come along into this terminal, it's going to ask us for 50 smart platings, and this is where the grind from the game starts. 50 smart platings, I'm pretty sure will not be cheap. We just come along into the bench. Alright, so this smart plating can be made in the assembler, and we have to get 4 rotors for that, and the rotors require 5 iron rods and 25 screws each. Now that is decently cheap. It should be quite easy to make. The only reason we want to make this assembler is just to check what it costs to make it, because if I'm fully honest, I kind of forgot. So all we need to do is make, I think, 50 of these screws, and it should give us a good amount to make it. So as far as you can see, you can make 2 rotors, so we need 100 screws and 50 iron rods. Now that should be manageable. We have made all the screws required for up to rotors. Oh, we can just straight up make 4. My miscalculation then. We don't need 50 of these iron rods. We'll make 4 rotors. That's all the rotors required. And the next thing we need is some iron plates. Or is it? Yeah, it's the reinforced iron plates, which required iron plates and some screws. Now that is super easy to get. The automated machine should have a good amount of iron plates in here, but we are going to need some screws, which require iron rods. So I'm going to take some of those. If we head in here, make some screws. As you can see, the reinforced iron plate at the top left number is going up, meaning we can craft more of it, but we just need more screws most likely. So it requires 6 more reinforced iron plates, which means we have enough. We just need to craft them. And now that we have crafted all of them, what we want to do is place down this assembler literally anywhere. Does not matter too much. It is clipping with the says, but that's completely fine. We just want to see what it takes. So it requires 1 rotor and 1 reinforced iron plate. That should be pretty easy to make. So now that we have all of this set up, this should make all the iron plates required for us, but we will need to destroy this iron ore and craft another miner on, place it on this, and that will automate this iron and that will be making the rotors. So the only reason we are going to automate that vein over there is because this one is not smelting it fast enough. But if we have two smelters running at the same time, it'll produce enough iron to keep up with the demand. At least that's my hopes. What we want to do is shove this miner right on there, and we want to put the output towards somewhere this direction, and we want to make it lead into a smelter, which we need some iron rods for. Okay, now we have all the copper wires required for it. We want to place the smelter right in front of it, connect it right into the smelter, obviously turn it into iron ingots. Oh, it doesn't have power, we'll fix that whenever we have it all set up. Now somehow a piece of iron has managed to get stuck in there, which I can't seem to remove. Right, so that's not good at all, because that means nothing will go in. That's kind of annoying. An easy fix though will just be to take that off and connect it back, and all good. We just want to put that in there, and there we go. Now that's completely fine. What we need to do is place this assembler down, and it requires one rotor and smart plate and reinforced iron plates. Alright, so we are going to do some quick management. Hello, light up green, there we go. We connect you into that one, you into that one, so now we have a spare conveyor belt over here, and what we want to do with this one is just extend it. We're going to basically need a third constructor. This is a lot of constructors, I know, but we need them, and connect it. So now it's being split 3 ways, and this one wants to make screws, which requires iron rods. Okay, now, so we don't want to do that. We only want it be taken out of here. Oh, so that complicates things a bit. So we have the option of making it go through a constructor, then another constructor, because we need to be crafted into iron rods and screws. Or we have the option of connecting this storage container into a constructor, but that will take out the iron plates. And I'm pretty sure we don't have a filter, so it only takes out iron plates. I'm not sure though. Alright, so I have made the decision to leave this on right now and create a different system here, which will lead into a constructor. And this so it's gonna go in here and it's gonna make iron rods, and then we want it to be split. We want it to be split using the conveyor splitter. If we just put that right there, conveyor belt is in valid shape. Okay, conveyor splitter right there, and then this will go into another constructor. Okay, that requires some wires. Alright, now we have a good amount of cables. We need to continue. This goes into a constructor. We plug that in. And then in this constructor, we make it turn into screws. And then we need a assembler, which requires some reinforced plates I'm going to make. And we continue, so we come back. We want an assembler, which will require 2 inputs, which that one will be from that one, and then this one will be from the splitter. So now half of these iron rods that are generated from this will be turned into screws, and half will be coming straight here to make these rotors. And that is now automated. All it needs is some power. So what we will do is make a power pole right there, connect it, and then connect it over there, and connect it over there, and connect it over there. Okay, no, we can't do that. So we want to create 2 power poles, and place the second power pole right there, connect that one, and connect that one. That one goes into that one, and that one. This one goes into this one, and that one, and that one. So now this is kind of scuffed, but that is alright, we'll manage, all good. But now everything is powered on. This will consume a lot of power. I actually don't know if we are producing enough, but we do have 3 generators. Let's hope they can keep up. Are they stocked? Alright, they are kind of running low, so let me just get some biomass. Shove the biomass in here. So now they are all fully filled, and the max is there, and the production is there right now. Okay, so this is alright. It is not using more than we can handle, so that's good. At least not yet. I think it's because not all the machines are being used. But once all the machines do start getting used, then that's when the problem will start. Why are you not leaving? Oh, because you need to be made iron. There we go. Now all the machines will start working. Is it all good? Yep. And it's going to go in here, and it's going to turn this all into iron rods. And then it should be one here and one there. Yep, there you go. Now one each. This is exactly what we wanted. So now it's going to go straight into the assembler, and whenever we have enough, it's going to make all the rotors we need. But then we will need another assembler, and that assembler will be the one to make the actual little discs, little metal discs. I forgot its name, but we are on our way to automating pretty much the basics so far. I have come back and I have made the official decision while these rotors are being crafted, I will be doing the reinforced iron plates myself. And now, why you ask, is because if we look at this assembler right here, and we look at the things required to make smart plating, the rotors are already automated, that's fine, but the iron plates require iron plates and screws, which I'm not currently bothered to automate it because that requires a bunch more splitters and a bunch more things we don't have, and we don't make this iron just fast enough yet. Now this will all be optimized, most likely off video. I want to add the flooring off video and just make it more neat and organized, and that should make this all look better. But yeah, I will be making the reinforced iron plates manually just to speed up the process, because we are using way much more than we can currently handle, because these smelters do not smelt fast enough, and the only way to upgrade them is I think later on in the game using the slugs, but we don't have access to that yet. And if I had to guess, that is only on tier 3, because I don't see it in any of these upgrades here. So now, obviously, these reinforced iron plates won't be too hard due to the fact we have this making the required things. We just have to manually turn it into reinforced iron plates by making some screws and some iron plates which are already generated and turning it into the reinforced iron plates. It shouldn't take too long, but it will still take a while. Alright, I have now made all the reinforced plates required, and while I was making that, these rotors were being made. It is not very efficient right now, it's only made 13. It's only making 4 per minute, so it's not very fast, and that is mainly due to the lack of speed that this has. As you can see, so this stops making because it's full. As you can see, this one's full, and it's not smelting it fast enough to pass on to this. This isn't crafting it fast enough, and yeah, that is gonna slow down our progress a lot, so I'm considering making some of these myself as well. This also takes a while to craft, so it is also not crafting fast enough more than it is receiving. But this is expected in the early game because we only have the base equipment with nothing to speed it up. Now I will probably make around half of these rotors by hand just to speed up this process, and I'll see you there. Alright, this machine has just finished making 25 rotors, and now that gives us all the rotors required to put into this assembler over here, and that's going to start crafting all the smart plating. Now this will be very, very slow, because, well, that's just how the machine works, but this will allow us to complete the phase 1 in this little massive space elevator, and that should allow us to go on to tier 3 whenever we feel like we should. But right now, obviously, we will be completing all these milestones before we go into tier 3. Maybe not the jump pads, not so much, but we'll be completing everything else because we need all the stuff in it. The chainsaw to cut down trees, a solid biofuel just to have better fuel, the conveyor belt to move stuff faster, and this is stuff we won't be using for a long time, but we'll get it just in case. But we're just going to finish this space elevator, and then on the next video, we should be going into these milestones and completing all of them. Alright, I have decided that while it is doing that, in the meantime, we shall get some concrete and go into foundations and ramps. What do these cost? They cost some iron plating. But what we are going to do is go to the other side of the limestone and craft ourselves a little way up onto the top of this mountain from the other side, so we have even easier access, because currently I need to go up there, drop down onto the limestone mine, and then come all the way around, and obviously that's just too inconvenient. I don't like that. So we're going to make stairs to go back up, and right now the progress is 17 out of 50. And it has been around 20 minutes, so it is very slow, but that's what we are going to do in the meantime. Alright, here is the limestone. Okay, took some full damage, whoopsie daisies, but that is fine. So what we want to do is start making a little ramp up from... Are you alright? Yeah, no, it's fine, it's just making too much too fast. From right around... This should be a good enough starting point. Okay, what are you doing? There we go. Do we have enough? is the question. Alright, and this allows us to get right here. What we're going to do is get the foundation and slap it right on front. And now we can come back up here, go over this base, and as you guys can see, our space elevator makes it very clear where our base is. We go through this mountain, collect some of these leaves to get them out the way, and here is our base. Pretty good so far. And we have finally got all the 50 smart plating required to complete phase 1. As you see at the top right, 50 is required, and if I open my inventory, there's 50 there. And we just put it all in there and seal, and then it should send automatically, no, and then we send, and there you go. Now we watch this cool little animation as it sends it off into space. And at the top right, you guys can see phase 2 is a real big bump from phase 1. Like, it is much more expensive, so we will definitely need to make this much more efficient than it currently is. But we are not in a rush to complete phase 2, so that is completely fine. Is there a specified amount of time, or... No, I'm pretty sure that is just it. It just sends it into space, and we unlock everything into one. Well, we don't unlock it, but we get the ability to be able to unlock it. If I quickly come here, and yeah, tier 3 and tier 4, completely all here. Now, what we are looking for is the... Is it in tier 4? Now, I don't see where it is, but in these machines, we should need to unlock this. I'm not sure how we do that. We do that with the power slugs. Now, that might be in the special with the MAM. I could quickly make this. And now we have all the resources for the MAM. I am going to place it right here. And now I don't know if this requires power, but I doubt it. It should be it yet. Here's the power slugs. It costs 1 blue power slug. I'm pretty sure we have exactly 1 if we check in my chest right here. Yep, here it is. We should be able to give this in exchange to be able to get these power things, which speed up absolutely everything. Please choose a new node, and then, yep, here's everything. This is what we are looking for. This little overclock production. So what I'm going to do is... Can you shut up? Alright, what I'm going to do is unlock this real quick. It's going to take 5 minutes, but I'll be back when I'm done. Alright, I have gathered everything required for this. We go into the power slugs and we start this research. I'll come back in 5 minutes and I'll show you what this does. And there we go. Now the overclock production is completed. I just wanted to quickly come here and start the research because this takes 3 seconds. Finish that one. Unlock more useless stuff. And then we go on to the alien organisms and start research on this one real quick. And now that is done, what we want to do is go to any machine, and if we grab the Christmas gifts, these little power shards, I think that's what we use. Yep, there we go. We can just straight up shove it in there. We can shove 3 per machine, and we were lucky enough to get 20 for the Christmas event. And what that will do is speed up all production. So as you guys can see, we have 0 in here. Now for the price of consuming more power, we can shove this in here and shove this up to 150% efficiency. As you can see, this is going much faster, but it is using much more power. But luckily we are producing still enough that we will not have a power cut. So what I'm going to do is, that should be producing more than this can produce. So, no, it is still producing way too much. So what I'm going to do is shove even 1 more in there. So it's 200% efficiency, 60 per minute, but it is still not producing more, or rather enough. Now that is completely fine. We just need it producing much more than it currently is. And that will allow this to be filled up much faster with no problems. Because this machine was currently having a problem, especially in the iron plate department, it was having a problem with how much it could make, because it wasn't getting enough iron ingots inside of it. But now that it is, we are getting a decent amount of efficiency and iron made. That machine will fill up within probably the next gameplay, you guys will see. And I will automate this probably more efficient. I've currently got this turned off because we just don't need this running right now. So it is using the rest of the iron ingots it's got left to produce as many rotors as it can. And that will probably be around up to 100 if I had to guess. And then that machine will stop doing its job until we turn it back on to go into complete phase 2. But that is it for today's videos, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be back with the next one very soon.